Welcome to another video of product design and development course. In this video, we'll focus on concept testing. Remember from previous video, we talked about the conceptual design funnel. You start with some concept that you've generated in previous steps. These red circles here represent generated concepts. You go through the selection process, screening and scoring, and further down to narrow down your concept and also confirm the result of your concept selection, you do concept testing. In concept testing, the development team solicits a response to a description of the product concept from potential customers in the target market. Concept testing may be used to select which of the two or more concepts should be pursued, to gather information from potential customers on how to improve a concept, and also to estimate the sales potential of a product. Concept testing is sometimes called the resonance testing, and it's because a way to learn if a product concept will resonate with customers. So this is part of that narrowing down concept and part of the funnel. There are various other types of testing with potential customers that may be completed at times. For example, a verbal description of a concept may be used to identify the original product opportunity that was used as a basis in the mission statement of the product or project. A test may be also used to refine the demand for forecast after development of a product is almost done, but before the firm commitment and full production of the item. This figure below here shows concept testing and how it relates to other concept development activities. Concept testing is closely related to concept selection, as we talked about it. In that, both activities aim to kind of narrow down the sets of concepts under consideration. However, the difference for concept testing is that it has a distinct feature, which is based on the data gathered directly from potential customers and relies less on degree of judgment from the team itself. The reason that concept testing generally follows concept selection is that a team cannot feasibly test more than a few concepts directly with potential customers. So as a result, the team must first narrow down the sets of alternative to a very few, and then move forward. The process, such as everything else in this course, will define a process for it. It's a 7-step process that we go through for concept testing. First, you define a purpose for the test. We talked about a few of those so far in this video, but you've got to define what is the purpose. What are you trying to achieve at the end of the concept testing? Once you do that, you choose a survey population. You figure out what format survey you would like to do. Then you decide how to communicate the concepts to that chosen population, and collect their responses, measure their responses, interpret the results of it, and kind of reflect on the whole process and go back to your purpose of the test and figure out what was achieved, and if that's something you want to do, or if there is anything in the process that you would like to go back and change. In this lecture, we'll have a case study that we'll go through and see some examples from. But before starting that, there are certain purposes that you can have for your concept testing. We mentioned few, but here is a few more options for the concept testing. It can determine your go, no-go decision for your product and your concept that's been selected. It can identify which market to be in. If your result of your concept scoring was few viable alternatives, this concept testing can select the best option for you. if your results was maybe one concept or a couple of concepts, this test can confirm those results. You can use this as benchmarking. You've kind of been using benchmarking throughout this process, and it's always a study of existing product, understanding your competition, weaknesses and the strength of competition, and also your product. You can ask for improvement of ideas and figure out what customer like about your product and dislike about your product, and make improvement, or I should say your idea and concepts, not your product. You can forecast demands and sales numbers for your product, and sometimes set a selling price for your product, and figure out, are you ready to launch or not. You can add to the list depending on the product, depending on the project. You can have a lot more purposes defined for the testing, for your concept testing. In the case study that we will see some examples here, was the Empower Corporation. They designed, or their concept was a personal transportation device, or a scooter. For them, the purpose that they were after for the concept testing was only to figure out which market to be in, and also kind of demand how much they're going to sell, and their sales number. The sample population that they picked was college students that they were living near college campus, but also some factory transportation for transportation inside the factory. The format of the survey that they picked was face-to-face interviews for this purpose. If you remember, step 4 was to communicate the concept to their population. They used a variety of different medium and formats to do that. You can pick 1, 2, all, few, but depends on, again, the product, the project, the skill, who are you interviewing, and so on. But these are some examples of what they did, and what each of them means. So it could be a verbal description, could be just a rough sketch, could be a rendering of the product, could be a storyboard that you kind of see here in this image, could be a simulated video or simulation, could be an interactive multimedia, it could be a working prototype, could be a non-working prototype. This one is an appearance model, means it's not a working prototype, but they also had a working prototype. They even had a beta prototype developed. So they showed, I'm assuming, a working prototype or a beta prototype to their audience, and then they filled out a questionnaire in there. The step 5 was measuring their responses and interpreting their responses. So in here, we will look at only one question on their questionnaire sheet. That was, if the product were priced according to your expectation, how would you be likely to purchase the scooter within the next year? And it started from, I would definitely not purchase, to I would definitely purchase the scooter. So a typical question like this one, an equation that's given here. Q is quantity of sales, N is number of annual purchases, A is a fraction of customers for which the product is available, P is the probability of the purchase. Probability of the purchase comes from the 2 top boxes that they say I probably purchase and definitely purchase. So usually people who say I will definitely purchase, 40% of those will end up buying. And if someone says I would probably buy it, probably 20% of those will turn into an actual sale. So again, each industry could have a little bit of different correction factors or calibration factors, but that's how the probability is calculated of sales for this product. So they they wanted to be what market to be in, and what what is their forecasted number of sales. And if the number of sales in one of those markets that they chose, the college students or the factory work, is very low, then they can say, hey, maybe this is not our market, we got to move on. Maybe none of these are our market and we got to move on to different markets. Same as a lot of other processes that we've done in this course, then you got to ask some questions, which means reflect on the process and go back and revise and review if you've done something that might need to be changed. Maybe we're getting low response. Maybe the concept wasn't communicated properly. The customer didn't understand what the product does. Well, if you're getting a lot of sales, maybe we got to go see how many scooters are sold. If you're in the United States, how many are sold in the United States? Is our estimated number is close to that number or even more? Something is wrong. Maybe we read something or interpreted something incorrectly. So you got to kind of compare your data, see if it makes sense. What other populations we could look into based on what we learned from our survey? And again, goes back to question one. If the concept wasn't communicated properly and maybe people didn't understand it, what other ways are there that we can explain the concept and communicate it to people? I've included some infographic. These are kind of population, demographic data, different regions of the world, and then I also have some infographic as far as some consumer product and some markets to be in. So feel free to search your own data for your product or for your project and the portfolio that you're working on, kind of get some information. But these are some of the examples to help you kind of know what to look for when you're looking online. So feel free to pause the video and go through the data or look up your own data. Here's another one, kind of broken down regions of the world based on the population and how much there is. Here are some CPG market sizes and the scopes and kind of some of the projections and predictions that you can kind of see. Here's another one for technical consumer markets, appliances, and a lot of technical gadgets and technical tools, and kind of also based on regions of the world. Here's another one, kind of relates to the previous slide but in a different formats, and shows the office and IT and appliances market and sales and predictions and all of that. And these are from the textbook from Product Design and Development, McGraw-Hill, Carl Ulrich textbook. Again, give you some population and demographic data, and also kind of sales of some random items. It starts from commercial airplane all the way to razor blade cartridges. So these are some, again, additional information if you're trying to figure out the market size, sell prediction, without concept testing for your portfolio or for your term project. These are good information and infographic to have. Thank you very much.